I'm just going to go ahead and get started on this training. Again, welcome everyone. My name is Kevin Lawanto. I will be the facilitator for these exam question types in Canvas. This presentation is presented by the Office for Academic Innovation. Most of you who have joined our training in the past should know this, because if you have any questions while in the training, during the training sessions, please put it in chat. I am joined by my colleague Mahendra, who will be the moderator for this session, and she can help you. She can help me in answering your questions. We shall have some time at the end of the session for a question and answer. We also just did our virtual office hours earlier before this training. So if you still have any questions, feel free to come and join us during office hours again tomorrow, or send us a ticket to AI help@TAMU.EDU. But yeah, we will try our best to answer your question today. So if you would like to follow along, before doing that, I'm just going to end the polling. It looks like all of you have voted. So thank you for participating in the polling. 2 instructors and 2 academic liaisons. Good to know. I'm going to end the polling. And then if you would like to follow along, feel free to log into your Canvas course. You can go to LMS.TAMU.EDU and log in, click the login button on the top right hand side using your net ID and password. So in the meanwhile, I'm just going to talk about some of our changes that we made to our website recently. I'm going to share my web browser again. And then, oops, this is our LMS.TAMU.EDU website. If you haven't seen it, this is what it looks like. In here, you can find out more about if you're trying to move from Blackboard to Canvas. You can actually download our import guide. If you want to learn more about how to use Zoom in your hybrid classroom, you can learn about Zoom in the Engaging with Zoom sections right here. Keep in mind that starting next week, Zoom meetings, on all Zoom meetings, it will require you to have a passcode or waiting room enabled. So might as well, before next week, just start using a passcode, get used to and using a passcode in all of your Zoom meetings. So, and lastly, on the training on demand, we do have some on-demand videos, YouTube videos available for you. So if you want to watch that, for example, how to create a basic assessment, how to create an assignment, how to create a discussion board, or how to create a quiz in Canvas, we do have that video available. And again, we recently also made some changes to our Keep Teaching website. If you want to learn more about how to use HonorLock, we do have a training at 3 today. The folks directly from HonorLock will conduct that training, will deliver that training. So if you want to learn more about HonorLock from the source, feel free to join their training at 3 today. And you can find out the link from our training and support website right there, from 3 to 4. And going back to Keep Teaching, lastly, I want to mention is that we also have we also recently updated our online exam proctoring tool instruction. So if you scroll down to online exam proctoring, you can see the all the different online proctoring tools that are available for faculty to use this semester, and hopefully this can help you make a decision on which proctoring tool is right for your course for you. And we also have a step-by-step guide too in the website. So that is the website. Oops. Let me mute my chat for a moment before I forget. Oops, there we go. And then let's go back to the training. So I did talk briefly about the LMS website, and by the end of this training, you should be able to create a quiz in Canvas and use different question types in Canvas. And again, from this point on, I'm going to keep switching between my PowerPoint and my Canvas course. So if I'm going too fast, just let me know in the chat and I can certainly go and talk slower and explain it further if needed. So first, let me go back to my Canvas course again. And once you log in, if you want to follow along, you can actually use any of your practice course or your developmental course. If you're just watching today, that's totally fine too. So while for this training, I'm just going to use my sandbox. So we already mentioned this in our previous training in the past on how to create a quiz. So this training will not go into details on how to create a quiz. If you want to learn more about how to set up your quiz using the quiz tool or from your module, it's always recommended that you watch our on-demand training. Since I already created my quiz and it's a best practice to always put your quiz in your modules. Again, your modules is a place in Canvas where you can put all of your lesson materials, for example, readings, lectures, PowerPoints, assignments, discussions, quizzes, exams. Everything can be put. Anything that you will use throughout the semester, you can put it in the module. So your students will have some kind of like a one-stop shop where they can access all the materials that you want them to access throughout the semester. So in here, I'm going to choose any of my modules. I've created this in the past. I'm just going, since I already created a quiz that I want to use, I'm going to add it to my modules. So to add a quiz in my modules, again, you can create a brand new quiz from scratch directly from modules. But in my case, since I already created it in the past, I'm just going to add it. So once you click the plus button, you can select any of the folders or the modules that you want to add your quiz. I'm just going to add my quiz in my welcome page, my Welcome to English 101 page, and click this plus button. And then I'm going to click this quiz, add a quiz. And you can create a brand new quiz by adding this new quiz and name it, and then add item. Or since I already created it in the past, I'm just going to reuse that quiz again. And this is the quiz that I want to reuse, all question types, example, and I'm just going to add item. Every time you add a new item in your modules, it's always going to show up on the bottom of that page, right? And from here, you can move it up, you can move it down, and you can publish it. I'm not going to publish it right now. I'm going to edit the quiz. So I'm going to click the quiz name, and then I'm going to click edit the quiz. Again, if you already created a quiz before in Canvas, this should be very familiar to you, that the first time you click edit, it will show you the quiz details. This is where you can put the exam or the quiz instruction, what the students can do and cannot do, the time limit, and assign it to specific sections and put a due date, assign it to everyone, make it available from and until date. This is where you can do that. But in this training, I'm primarily going to focus on the question type. So I'm going to click questions, and then already created all the 12 different question types previously. So I'm going to talk about each one of this in this training. So in Canvas, you have 12 different question types. I'm going to talk about each one of this right now. But first, I'm going to show you the most common one that faculty use, which is multiple choice. And every time you create a brand new question, it's always gonna, multiple choice question is going to be the default one. So that's why it's on the top. Since I already created in the past, I want to edit it. I'm just gonna click edit this questions. If you would like to follow along and you don't have any quizzes, feel free to click on the bottom of this page. You have this new question. Just click that new question. And then what I'm going to do is basically going to talk about each 12 of this 12 exam types in this training. So I'm going to click cancel for now, since I don't want to create a new question. And I am going to go back and edit this multiple choice quiz. This should be very straightforward because it's multiple choice. A lot of you are familiar with multiple choice question. So it's always a good idea to put the question number or an instruction in here, not instruction, a title, question title. For example, you can name it question number 1, question number 2, question number 3, or etc. I'm labeling it question MC, which is multiple choice, because if you notice when you create a new quiz, I'm going to create a new question again. It's just going to show you when I click new question. Oops, where did it go? There you go. It's not going to it's just going to show you the title as question. So you can leave it like this. It is really up to you, but it's always a best practice to label it question 1 or question 2, just because the students will not see just the question, the word question. They will see question 1, question 2, question 3, which we will look at later on when we do a preview mode, when we're in preview mode. But when you need to regrade that question, and for example, you already created like 100 questions, it is hard for you to know which question that you need to regrade if you don't have the number put in correctly, right? You have to basically search it based on the question, and sometimes it's not easy. So it's always a good idea to have a question number, update the question title. I'm going to click cancel, and I'm going to edit this multiple choice again. And then once you title it, you can select whichever question types that you want to put for that particular question. For this question, I'm going to click multiple choice, and multiple choice is the default. And then you can relabel the points. By default, it's also going to be 1. And which of the following this is in the rich content editor is the place where you can put the question name and then the correct answer below. So by default, also Canvas will not show you the question, the ABC in the question. So this is something that I have to add manually when you type in the correct answer, just because in the one of the possible answers, you can do option A and option B. If you don't put A, B, C, and D like this, students will not know which one is A, which one is B, which one is C. They will just get a bullet point that they can click. And you can add another answer by clicking add another answer. That's what I'm going to do. And option B and C. You can do that. And once ready, you can put the correct answer by choosing by clicking each of the box basically. And the possible answer should be renamed to correct answer. And since the correct answer is A, I'm just going to click update the questions. Keep in mind, always remember to click update the questions. If not, then your question will not be safe. So the next choice exam type is true and false. I'm going to edit this true and false. And then you can put the question title again and click true and false. And then put in the question. With true and false, you don't have the ability to add another question answer. It's just going to be true and false. And then when ready, you just can click which one is true, which one is the correct answer. In this case, it's false, and update the question. The next thing that I want to talk about is fill in multiple blanks. I'm going to click edit on this one. And then the good thing is that the more complicated or the more advanced your question types, Canvas have done a really good job in telling you what kind of format you should put the question in. In this case, they're telling you to put the answer choices in brackets. So for example, roses are bracket color 1, comma, violets are bracket color 2. And this is the type of questions that I also have created for this type of question type. So complete the following phrase to bracket A or not to bracket B, that is the bracket C. It doesn't really matter. You can use the word color, you can use X, you can use A. It doesn't really matter. If I change this to A to X, and my possible answers is always going to show as X. So it doesn't really matter what you use in the bracket. So oops, I'm gonna see, you can see that it's being shown to going back to A again. And then in the possible answers that is where you put the answer. And you can also put distractors by add another answer if you want. With this type of question, it doesn't really matter if the student answer it just like this, or maybe capitalize B like this, or answer it like this. It doesn't really matter. Canvas will recognize those different variations as long as they did not misspell the word. So to choose the option B, what they need to put in option B, you can select it as B again, and then the same thing that you do for C. Again, students can answer it like this. We have tested in the past and it worked, and Canvas will still give them a point or mark this as correct, as long as they don't misspell the word question. Do it again, going back normal, and click update question. The next thing is fill in the blank. The same thing with fill in the blank. All you need to do is just a zebra, put the question and put something on the bottom. It doesn't really matter since there's no specific instruction. But students will see a small text box somewhere on the bottom of their question page when they preview it, when on their end. And this is, in that box is basically where they can put the correct answer. Again, you can add another answer if you want, possible answers, and Canvas will mark these 2 questions as correct, basically. Oops. One thing before I forget that I want to talk about is how to add a feedback. So whenever you see this green button or red or blue, you can click any of this, or you can click this, and this is where you can put all your feedback. So the difference between choosing the box with a small arrow, a small triangle on the top, versus individual text box is basically whenever you put in the arrow, the text box with the arrow, anytime you put great job in here, it will translate to any of the green text box and any of the green box. So basically you can mark it one at a time by doing this, great job, to all of them. If you have a different feedback for different correct answers, you can make those different feedback by clicking its own text box and putting the different feedback, or you can do all at once by clicking the box with the arrow and then click done. That's it. The same thing with the answer choices for the wrong answer and general comments. And then I'm going to click update question. The next one is question multiple answers. I'm going to edit this And for this type of questions, the question is that I put select a synonym for the term defeat. And Canvas will show you this different possible answers that you can choose. And with possible multiple answers, you can select more than one possible answers. So that's what I just did. And you can add another answer, basically. Oops, that is actually correct. This one is wrong. There we go. You can add another answer if you want. And type in howdy and don't mark it as correct. And you can choose from the green arrow which one is correct. And students will have to pick basically these three multiple answers, these three possible correct answers to get full points. Keep in mind that as of right now, in my multiple answers, also it's marking as 1. I'm gonna put this as 3, actually. Keep in mind that if you put more than 1 as a point, even if you put as 1, that's fine. If they miss 1, they will not get 0. They will get a partial credit on the points. So they can get 1 out of 3 or 2 out of 3 or all correct 3 out of 3, but there is no possible way in Canvas currently to get, if they miss 1 or more, they get a 0. So it's always, the only possible way for them to get 0 and multiple answers is if they choose correct, if they incorrectly pick all of these options. That's how they can get 0. If they only miss 1 or more, they get partial credits. So I'm going to click update question. And then the next one is multiple drop downs. I'm going to edit this one. And then also a good idea to check if there's a specific instruction, again, that Canvas would like you to do. And then roses are X, violets are color 2. It doesn't really matter, again, what you put in the variables. You can put X, you can put color 2. This is what I'm going to do. And in here, I can put in the X, I put in red and then 2 distractors, basically. And don't forget to choose which one is the correct answers. And then in color 2, the same thing. I already put in the word blue for the correct answer, and then they're also going to see 2 possible distractors for an option 2, an option color 2. And then I'm going to click update question. And then the next thing is matching. So with matching, it's pretty cool if you have done this in the past, is that Canvas has done a good job in letting you know what the students will see. So it's saying that students will see anything that you put on the left value, which is this, and then they will get a drop-down menu on their end when they take the test of the possible different answers that they can choose from. So they will see this, which is the term as my example, and they will see the definition. They have to click the definition. So I've done this, and then keep in mind that it needs to be, you cannot put, for example, if I put in howdy in here, you cannot put a blank matching right side. So Canvas will not accept that. You have to put something like not available or something. And then you can also put in additional match, which is the distractors on the bottom of the page. And it's online, just like this. And then when ready, you just click update question. Again, in here, if they miss one, just like in multiple answers, they will get a partial credit. The next 2 questions is question type is actually for math people. I'm not sure if there's any math people in this training, but if you're one of them, you're probably gonna be liking this feature. which is a numerical question. One of the types is numerical question, where you can put in your question, and then you have 3 different options that you can choose from in the answer section, which is the default is going to be exact answer. The next thing is answer in range or answer with precision. So by default, it's going to be exact answers, where you can put in the exact answer, which is 90 for this question. Or when you click the range, it's going to give you a range between that you can pick, maybe 70 to 90. And anywhere that students put in that range, their Canvas will mark it as correct. Answer with precisions, if you want to do, if you're teaching chemistry, this is also probably, you might want to use this because you're dealing with a lot of decimals or molar. For example, they need to answer it in 0.062, I think. Is that the mole? Is that in the mole? Maybe, or something like that. It's been a while since I took chemistry. Exact answer. That's what I'm going to use. When ready, you can just update the question. The next thing, this is a bit more complicated, but it's certainly doable if you see any use for it. And also, this is the type of question, I think the only type of question where if you put in, for example, you can give in 30 possible solutions, and then every time students, each individual students take the test, they can actually see a different question each time. So this is one of the way without creating, without randomizing the question by creating a question bank. Because if the faculty use formula questions, it's automatically going to randomize the number for the students. So the type of questions that I put in here is very simple. It is bracket X plus bracket Y equals 2, right? Because that is what Canvas wants you to put it as. What is 5 plus X, right? So that is my type of question. What is X plus Y equal to? And then I'm going to, in the answer variable solutions, I'm going to put in my minimum and maximum value, where I would like Canvas to create that random number. So in the X and Y, let's start this from the very beginning, shall we? So that you know. I'm going to click cancel this. In the X, I'm going to put in 60 to 150. So for my variable X, Canvas will randomly put any number between 60 and 150. And don't worry about this. We're going to talk about this next. This number, this random number. And then for Y, I'm going to put in 30 to 90. And then Canvas will also create a random number that you can test. I'm going to click recompute for now. And then in the formula section, all you need to do is just put in the question again that you put in the bracket in the formula without the bracket. So in here, I'm going to put in X plus Y and then click save. Now, what you need to do is make sure that this number, 149 for X and plus 78 adds up to 227. Let's see. Yes, that is correct. Once you make sure that it's correct, what you can do is you can create you can ask Canvas to create 30 possible solutions or 40 different variations, any variation that you like, up to 200. So I'm going to type in 80. And you can do the margin error again if you want. I'm not going to do margin error. I'm just going to click generate. And let it generate the number. Wait for it. There you go. And then it's going to show you in this column all those different random generator. So it's basically between that you put in the range, minimum and maximum. So 107, 121 looks correct. For Y, it needs to be in this range, 30 and 90. Everything looks correct. I'm happy, and you can update the question. So we'll see it this in a moment of what it's going to look like from the student side, right? The next type of question is text no question. Again, if you're teaching, for example, chemistry, that's the example that I have right now, is you might want students to, you might say to your students saying that, and say that you don't want your students to memorize formulas, memorize something else. Because you're going to provide the formulas in your class. You can create a text no question, basically, and you can, in the rich content editor, you can attach the formula that you're allowing your students to see as a link, as a picture, this is a picture, or as a PDF, as anything that you like that they can download, but this is a picture, and they will see this in when they're taking tests. Or you might want to upload video and ask the student to watch the video to answer question number 1 to question number 5, right? So you can add that video in the rich content editor. And don't forget to label as text no question. I'm going to update the question. And then in the question essay, this is the only type of question types where students have the ability to see the rich content editor. So if you would like your students to submit an image or a PDF, something that you can see in your speed grader, you can click question essay and choose essay questions, and they will see the rich content editor where they can add the link or add the picture. And that's it. And the last question types is file upload. So if you just want them to file upload, you can actually just choose a file upload, and students will have the ability to just file upload the PDF. Keep in mind though, if the faculty choose a file upload, they will not, and the students upload the PDF, the faculty will not have the ability to annotate that PDF. It's going to, in the speed grader, they will just see the download button, and they have to download that file. So if the faculty would like to have the ability to annotate, consider making that file upload question as an assignment, because the only feature where annotation is available for faculty is if the students submit that file upload PDF or image or anything as an assignment, not as a quiz. Because if they submit it as a quiz, they create a file upload as a quiz, the only thing the faculty can do is to download that file to their computer. And then that's it. I'm going to update the question, and then I'm going to click save. Now, the next thing that we're going to talk about is what the student will see, right? So to see what the students will see, I can do two things. One is the student preview, but you can only do a student preview if you publish the test, right? I don't want to do that since I don't want to publish it right now. I'm just going to click preview. Again, this is what the student will see. And you can see that I can just try to retake this and put it as random. B not to B, that is question. And just to prove it to you that it works, black. Oh, I don't remember this one. Subdue, conquer. Actually, I'm just gonna click this. Roses are red, violets are blue. This, I don't remember any of this. Actually, let's just put one of them as correct answer. There. There. This is 90. What is 70 plus 38? 73108. So again, each students will see this question differently because it's a formula question. And then they don't need to enter this one. You can just type in this one and then file upload. Again, faculty will not be able to file upload because they're in preview mode. And then once done, I can just click submit. Now it's showing me that you can see in here, question 3, it recognizes all the different variations as long as I don't misspell it. And then in here and in here, I got a partial credit. So that's what I would like to show you, basically. Let's go back to the PowerPoint. I think we covered everything that I would want to in this training. So just making sure that I cover everything. Exam information, we covered this a little bit a while ago. Add question, question types, multiple choice, true and false, fill in the blank. Yes, I did talk about fill in the blank. Fill in multiple blanks, multiple answers, multiple drop downs, matching, numerical answer, formula question, essay questions. One thing that I almost forgot to mention is that essay question is only one type of questions other than file uploads. I guess file uploads and essay questions is the two types of questions where the faculty needs to grade that particular questions manually. So there's no automatic grading for those. File upload questions, text no question types.
To learn more, please visit LMS.TAMU.EDU or email us at aihelp@tamu.edu. Thank you.